There's Goliath over here. Hawaii's huge. That team's really small. Well, these guys are from as far west as you can go. That's as far as east as you can go. They've got 800 students. Hawaii's got like 35,000 students. So it's about every difference you can find in the two teams, you can find with these two teams.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Emmanuel coming down from Franklin Springs, Georgia. They will have a completely new lineup here this year with the exception of their libero in essence. They are going to, and players in different positions as well, they are going to be going up against this Hawaii team that, yeah, absolutely is certainly by any standard a juggernaut. But in this David versus Goliath matchup, David's got some style, especially their head coach. You have to check out the fit here for James Friddle in his 6th season. Yes, that is something that he is known to do, is wear what can be described as some fairly loud and kind of crazy design clothes.
I think he picked it up about 6 years ago when he was an assistant coach at Palm Beach Atlantic. And for some reason, the assistants all started wearing funky outfits. So he decided, as a head coach, hey, I think I'll do it as a head coach too. He's got it all going on. He was a great interview the other day when we interviewed him in his car as they were headed to Pearl Harbor. Couldn't have been nicer. Gave us his entire starting lineup. Whatever we wanted to know, he would divulge. He actually was a great player. You know, back in the day, he played for King, held the conference outside kill record for like 5 years. He was the career leader.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah. No, really cool stuff, and yeah, making the most of his trip out here to the islands. Looks like he's straight out of Studio 54 or something like that here for tonight's festivities. All right, we'll see you at first serve. Listen it back over to the corner crew.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. I love it. All right, as you've probably noticed, there are some new starters on the floor for Hawaii, including a couple local boys in Todd and Choy, but they're not new faces. They're guys that have just been patiently waiting for their turn.
We are very thankful for Coach Charlie, the whole coaching staff, giving our a chance to be able to play, especially in the stand sheriff in front of the best fans in the world. And the fact that we get to play home, and especially since we're the local guys, we're kind of like the favorites.
It just kind of comes with the territory, you know, like players like me and Aleu, and then it's also Keone. Like there's tons of players who have come to the system. Like even as a couple years ago, like Colton, he used like the same exact example, but just trusting the process and just knowing that you're on one of the best teams in the whole entire country, but just working as hard as you can, day in and day out, and just knowing that if you are the best, then you'll play.
There is that patience, and there's a lot of hard work that's gone into it. And I also think, I mean, the most of the guys you're referring to are local guys. It means a lot. It means a lot to be a part of this program. It means a lot to represent their families and the state, and you know, just thrilled that they've stuck it out and continue to put the hard work in and really playing at a very high level.
All right, Simon, I'll throw on the coach's hat, mess up James's hair, and it's sponsored by Heineken. James, you were a part of this program for a long time. I'm sure you can relate to that patience aspect. How hard is it to wait for your turn?
It's incredibly hard, and especially at Hawaii, where a lot of these players could have probably transferred to a lot of schools and started, but it just speaks to how close and the friendship and the camaraderie that you build on this team. It's a really hard place to leave, but again, it requires a lot of patience, knowing that you may or may not get your turn. A lot of them got their turn because of COVID, which is, again, the bonus of that extra year that they got. It's incredibly hard.
You know, I think one of the challenges, too, especially with men's volleyball, is there aren't a whole lot of teams for players to go to. And so the rosters for men's collegiate teams are technically and usually a little bit bigger than what we would see for other sports. And so there's a lot of people, there's only 6-7 players that are allowed on the court. And so there's a lot of waiting by many of these players into their maybe junior or senior year where they're really able to contribute. The quick key is how many of them actually stick around and are able to have that longevity to really commit themselves to the program. And what we're seeing with these two is they not only suck it out, but they become leaders off the court as well.
Patience sometimes pays off, and so far it has for Leo Choy and Alekaitan. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to focus on Ileu.
I remember being in the upper section with my dad, and he would take me to the men's volleyball games for UH, and I told him, Dad, I want to be on that court one day. When I grow up, I want to be a Rainbow Warrior. My dad always told me that no matter what happens, like, at that or those nights that you play for game. That as long as you give your 120% effort, you'll always be proud of me. And that's kind of like what's been going through my mind.
Ileo Choy there. You see him getting ready as number 4 Hawaii hosts Emmanuel. And for Ileo, it's been a long road to get where he's at. He's the starting libero. And admits it was a little nerve-wracking a week ago.
The first set, I'll be honest, I was very, very nervous, shaking my boots. But looking around, like, I have all my teammates there on the court and the sidelines, they're all cheering, the fans are cheering. I realized that everyone is kind of pulling for me, and it's time to play. You gotta do what you gotta do for the team.
What I've seen from Leo is what I've seen for him for the last couple of years, and just thrilled to see it translate so nicely onto the court, because he's been that level player in our practice gym for a while. You know, we'll even put him on the opposite side of the net, so we have to play against him at practice, and it's elevated his game, it's elevated our team play, and just a great kid and such an inspiration to you know, young kids everywhere. It's like he didn't have a huge career, but with the right work ethic and the right mindset, you can play at the highest level.
They listed me as 5'7", but I think I'm 6'7" in my mind. No, not really, but if there's something that you don't have, then work for it. That's really all it is. And I just want to kind of inspire the youth of Hawaii that nothing's impossible, and you can always, if you can do things as long as you put your mind to it and put in the work.
All right, let's take a look at Ileo out of Farrington High School. He is not 6'7", he is 5'7", but in his mind, he's a foot taller. Started both matches last week, had 15 digs in the opening night against Loyola Chicago. There you see the rest of his numbers. I have a lot of admiration for this guy because nothing comes easy to him. I mean, he had to work to get this point very hard.
Yeah, and he stuck it out, right? We talked about the patience effort. He is somebody that has had to wait his turn and now has had this opportunity to really shine. I think one of the things that we've seen with Ileo is not only is he able to become that role model for other future Rainbow Warriors who live in the state of Hawaii, these young players that dream of playing on this court. He's provided to be that role model, but I think more than that, it's just his personality. I mean, I think there is no better personality on this team than Ileo Choy. He's always positive, he's always encouraging, and you know what you're going to get from this libero.
I couldn't agree with you more. And the big thing that I admire about Ileo Choy is it's so easy to give up, but he never does. If not, he adds something in order to get into that starting lineup every single year. Like I said last weekend, he would run 2 miles to practice at 6 in the morning just so he can get that extra workout in before practice. He does everything by the textbook that you need to do in order to be on the court, and it's just so satisfying to see him get his shot this year and play fantastic. I think he did such a good job and was a big reason for that win in that first home opener. He had 17 digs and passed incredibly. And again, this is just the beginning of an incredible season, I think, for Ileo Choy.
Ryan, real quickly, what is his strength right now? What's one aspect he needs to work on, you think?
I think his defense is his strength. I think there are times where his passing, he's still getting used to the passing course, so I think that's going to come over time. And I think at times he maybe tries to do a little too much if he can just calm down sometimes. But I think that just speaks to the energy and his motivation to go after every ball. But his defense is definitely leading the charge.
It's Choy time on the floor whenever Ileo is out there. Okay, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll get
Pacific Health.
Aloha, my name is Dr. Jay Yu. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at the Hawaii Pacific Health Bone and Joint Center at Straub Medical Center. Today we're going to talk about hamstring and gluteus muscle weakness, which can lead to ACL injuries in particular. The first exercise we're going to demonstrate is the single leg extension on the Bosu ball. First, you lie on the floor. And then next, Catherine's going to put one foot on the Bosu ball, and the other foot up in the air. And next, she's going to push up on her heel, get to the top, and squeeze her glute. That's really important for glute activation. And then go back on the ground. And she's going to repeat this for about 10 to 12 times on each leg. Another exercise that Catherine is going to demonstrate is a single leg deadlift. So first, she's going to stand about shoulder width apart. She's going to lift up her left leg, and with her left arm, she's going to reach down for her right foot. She's going to keep her back straight, chest forward, and repeat this about 10 to 12 times on each leg. Now, this exercise is really good for glute and hamstring activation and strengthening.
inside Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center, a handful of minutes away from Hawaii, taking on Emmanuel. Let's take a look at the stat leaders returning for the Lions.
From Mānoa, we have Carlos, who had 2.5 kills per set last season, hitting 174. Then we have Nicholas, who had 0.11 blocks and added 2.21 digs per set and had a career 18 aces. And then we have Vega, who had a 1.25 kills per set and only hit 0.098.
All right, Ryan, let's take a look at the leaders from a week ago for UH.
Well, these hitting percentages really pretty lofty for the outsides. 391 for Sturos Hakas. You can see there, kills per set at 4.75. Alaka Itad without an error that second night against Loyola Chicago really helps you elevate that hitting percentage. And Trent Rosenthal running this offense, you can see there 11.25 sets per set.
Time now for our watch list, and Ryan, you go first. Who are you looking forward to seeing coming off the bench? I have a feeling we'll probably see some of the bench guys here tonight.
Well, one player that we know is going to be coming off the bench is Keone Thim, who will be filling in for Chaz Galloway, a player that has been mostly regulated in his past as a serving specialist, is going to have the opportunity to play 6 rotations. We saw glimpses of it last week against Loyola, but this will be his first time as a full-time starter on that left side. He's worked incredibly hard to get himself into this position. We'll see if being a starter helps to elevate his game.
James?
For me, I have Colt Otmar out of Spokane, Washington, a player who's put in a lot of work and has very natural athleticism. Growing up, didn't really get to experience the club volleyball scene as it's very small in Washington, but made his way onto this incredible Hawaii lineup. And again, I think the future is bright for him. He has all the athletic pieces and has been working really hard this summer to maybe sneak into the lineup.
All right, you heard Chris say it's David versus Goliath, and having watched the warm-ups, I would absolutely agree. But you brought up a good point when we were off air talking. You said, you don't know if there's really going to be that much substitution here tonight. How come?
Yeah, because I think Hawaii, again, there's a lot of new faces this season, and we saw there was a little bit of a chemistry issue in that second night against Loyola. I expect Charlie to keep a steady lineup at least through the first 2 sets as they build that chemistry. It's a lot different when you're in the practice gym and when everything matters in a game. He's going to want these starters to build that chemistry and find that connection with Trent Rosenthal. I think we'll see a little bit of the bench players, but not too much.
Do you agree, Ryan?
You know, I tend to agree, but I also can see the flip side where there's a lot of missing pieces for this Hawaii starting lineup with Chaz being out. You know, there's a bunch of injuries, and that maybe the nucleus of the B side having played together more might be a better fit because of the fact that there aren't as many missing pieces for that side as well. So I think we could maybe not see as much liberal substitutions here in this first night. We may see it if things go well in night number 2 on Friday.
What are you guys looking for tonight from Hawaii?
I'm looking for Hawaii to make their serves. Again, Emmanuel is going to be a team that they know they can play defense against. I think they're going to play on their side.
Yeah, and I just think for Hawaii, it's just getting more comfortable with tread setting and getting this offense into where they want it to be.
All right, it's the season opener for Emmanuel. Hawaii already at 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, aloha and welcome to another exciting evening of Rainbow Warrior Volleyball. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of the national anthem and Hawaii Pono'i. And please remove your hats. Veterans are encouraged to render a hand salute. Please welcome to the Simplify Arena at the Stan Sheriff Center, University of Hawaii alumni, former Miss Hawaii and Mrs. Hawaii USA, and the only person to compete for both Miss America and Miss USA, and recently, ladies and gentlemen, appeared on the popular Netflix Squid Game. Please welcome home, Allison Chu.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's light? glass gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we'd watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Hawaii pono'i nanai komoi kalani ali'i ke ali'i makualani e kamehameha na kaua e pale me ka ihe makualani e kamehameha na kaua e pale me ka ihe.
Ladies and gentlemen, University of Hawaii's very own Allison Chu.
Aloha ahi ahi. Good evening, everyone. The Rainbow Ohana welcomes you to Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center on the campus of the University of Hawaii in majestic Mānoa for tonight's NCAA men's volleyball match featuring Conference Carolinas member, the Emmanuel Lions. And representing the Big West Conference, your fourth-ranked Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Introducing the Emmanuel Lions starting lineup. At outside hitter, 6'5" sophomore from Port Richey, Florida, number 6, Aiden Feeney. At center, 5'11" sophomore from Mont Belvieu, Texas, co-captain number 8, Lowell Langelier. And opposite, 6'5" freshman from Miami, Florida, number 11, Arturo Diaz-Dube. And outside hitter, 6' senior from Greenville, South Carolina, number 15, Eliza Donick. At libero, 5'11" senior from Lee's Summit, Missouri, floor captain number 19, Nicholas Seichenberger. And middle blocker, 6'6" freshman from Delafield, Wisconsin, number 20, Greg Bodas. And at middle blocker, 6'5" freshman from Melbourne, Australia, number 21, Andrew Michael. The assistant coach is John Papa Friddle. Head coach for the Lions, James Friddle. greet the starting lineup for your Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. At libero, 5'7" junior from Waialae, Oahu, number 5, Emmanuel Choy. At middle blocker, 6'9" sophomore from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 8, Kurt Nusterer. At center, 6'8" freshman from Manhattan Beach, California, number 13, Trent Rosenthal. At opposite, 6'9" senior from Kailua, Oahu, number 14, Alakai Todd. And outside hitter, 6' senior from Kaimuki, Oahu, number 20, Keone Thim. And middle blocker, 6'7" senior from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, number 21, Guilherme Voss. And at outside hitter, 6'4" senior from Nea Smyrni, Greece, floor captain, number 6, Spiros Hakas. The assistant coaches are Kupono Fei and Chad Giesman. Associate coach Milan Zarkovic. Head coach for your Rainbow Warriors, Charlie Wade.
Nearly 5 kills per set from senior swinger Spiros Hakas. The Rainbow Warriors had to settle for a split in their season-opening 2-match series against Loyola Chicago last week. Last week also represented the debut of true freshman center Trent Rosenthal, who averaged over 11 assists per set and directed the Hawaii offense to a 374 clip. Tonight, match 1 of a 2-part non-conference series between the Emmanuel Lions and the 4th-ranked Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. And with that, we welcome you inside Simplified Arena at Stan Sheriff Center next to Chris McLaughlin on Kanoa Leahy CMAC. Take us through the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match.
Well, for Emmanuel, it's bright lights. Do not get intimidated by them. Enjoy the bright lights of the Stan Sheriff Center. And for Hawaii, serve in. Last week, night 2 versus Loyola yielded 27 service errors and 75% in for the night. Coach Wade would love to see his team back at the 90% mark.
This is the season opener for Emmanuel. The Lions coming from Franklin Springs, Georgia. So a long trip out to the islands, but they've already been able to make the most of it. They went out to Pearl Harbor this morning.
Tomorrow, Polynesian Cultural Center.
Going to a luau at Polynesian Cultural Center on the North Shore. And yeah, they're going to live it up a little bit in addition to getting some really high-quality experience against the 4th-ranked team in the country. Hawaii, of course, 1-1 after splitting the 2 matches last week against Loyola Chicago, and it is the Lions breaking the ice. They score the first point thanks to a net violation against Hawaii. The Hawaiian Financial FCU starting lineup scrolling at the bottom of your screen, and the biggest change for Hawaii, Keone Thim getting the start in place of Chaz Galloway, who we are told is likely not to play tonight and possibly not on Friday either, as Spiros Hakas hammers that one down. Spiros Hakas just been on another level again, CMAC. Already, I think, staking claim to being a National Player of the Year candidate, hitting almost 5 kills per set.
Unbelievable. You know what? He's known as an outside left side hitter, and back real quick. But boy, he's been good from the right side.
And scrambling a little bit, and then the 2-hand save by Emmanuel Choy, and here comes Hakas. Hanging and banging. Spiros Hakas, 4.75 kills per set. That's tops on the team. He's hitting .391. Also has 11 digs and 5 blocks. In the 5-set loss to Loyola, he had 22 kills, hit .500. Hawaii's offense and their efficiency numbers wasn't really the problem that night.
Not at all.
That was a little bit more of the problem.
That was the problem, you're right. Hawkins got a little sign from the Antes in the corner. Sign says, Grease Lightning.
Yeah, I like it.
That's a good one.
Here's Greg Bodas, 6'6" freshman from Delafield, Wisconsin. One of a whole bunch of underclassmen on this Emmanuel roster. As Guilherme Voss gets into the book with the kill. Now, you weren't here, C-Mac, but I know you observed things last week. I want to get your thoughts here in a moment on Tread Rosenthal. But James Friddle, he is the head coach in his 6th year of the Emmanuel Lions. And let's just say his style is unique as the overpass is forced. Back row set, and that one smacked by Aiden Feeney, but they're going to say that he crossed the line, so back row violation. And there's a look at the full fit of James Friddle. Now, he's kind of known for this. He wears what can be sometimes described as fairly out there and crazy design patterns on his clothes.
And he's doing this not just because he's in Hawaii. He wears it everywhere.
It's kind of his thing, yeah. Oh, and that one drops on the Emmanuel side of the net. Yeah, you got to love James Friddle. I mean, he's a great guy to talk to as you take a look at his counterpart tonight, Charlie Wade, in his 15th year atop the program. 270 career wins as Hawaii head coach.
Second only to the great Mike Wilton, Keone Thimm's grandfather.
All right, so free chance here for Hawaii. Rosenthal goes middle, Kurt Neusterer. And a net violation goes against the Lions, so Hawaii gets the point. Your thoughts on Tread Rosenthal, the true freshman, 17 years of age, who last week made his collegiate debut?
Well, he is the real deal. I couldn't wait to watch him play his first NCAA game. Unfortunately, I had to watch it at home as I lost my voice last week, and I barely have it this week. But anyway, I love Tread. He sets all the great sets. I thought he had a few accuracy problems last week, and I thought he didn't set the middle enough on night number 1. Night number 2, he started to feel more comfortable and set the middle. And I think he runs great offense. Look at the numbers. What, they hit 500 for the weekend, I think? Crazy.
Yeah, pretty darn good for sure, especially on that second night. And there he sets up Keone Thim. And Thim, who had 3 kills last week, able to get in the book there. 7 serving 2 here in set number 1. G. Voss with the serve. Emmanuel scrambling a little bit from that D position. The swing by Arturo Diaz-Dubé will be dug up. And then Thim climbs the ladder, but a great dig by the libero Nicholas Eichenberger. Here's Thim a second time, dug up by Eichenberger again. Was 7th in the nation last year in digs per set. You saw a couple of moments as to why he was able to accumulate those numbers, but Keone Thim wasn't going to be denied after a couple of sets came his way.
You see Keone Thim, he's got a confused look on his face like, how did that guy pick it up? I just drilled it.
Eichenberger, all-around player. He was, again, their top digger. Got starts at libero as well as outside hitter, as well as setter in different spots last year. And that one is put down by Aiden Feeney. 6'5" sophomore. He was relegated to only 4 sets played last year due to injury. And so head coach James Friddle happy to get him back. A couple of guys who were red shirts a year ago.
I watched him in a warm-up. I liked Feeney, the way he played. Very aggressive.
Todd with the swing there. It'll be returned, free ball style. Backside, here's Todd again. And he hits it long. Went over the block and out. No touch. And the point to the Lions.
It's a long time since his last error, isn't it? I think he was errorless on night number 2.
He absolutely was. He had 12 kills, no errors, hit .545 that second night against Loyola. So he is human.
Yeah.
Here's Noah Langelier, 5'11" sophomore from Mont Belvieu, Texas. Alakai Todd, that time tried to slice it thin and hit it into the twine.
That's a tough shot to try, I'll tell you. He saw the block up, probably a decent choice, but he just bit off more than he could chew right there.
So that's 3 straight points here for Emmanuel. out of Conference Carolinas. As that serve goes long by Langelier. Langelier was a starting outside hitter last season and then transitioned to being their starting setter this fall.
That's really hard to do. That's really hard.
9 serving 5, it's Todd. Backside set. Good swing there by Eli Zadanek. Another guy who redshirted last year, but coach very happy to have him back in the lineup. But the roof was up there for Hawaii, led by Kurt Neusterer.
He's another fun guy to watch. I enjoyed watching Neusterer play last week. Really hustles on the block to get to the outside and close it.
Team leader in blocks through 2 matches. Also hitting .563 this young season. Zadanek roll shot blocked by Rosenthal. Tread listed at 6'8". We mentioned Charlie Wade seems to think he might be closer to 6'9", maybe even pushing above that.
Yeah.
And he was able to get one of those huge frying pan hands on the ball here.
Not many freshmen will have the volleyball IQ to get over there and put up a 3-man block on that left side.
Serve tickled the tape. This is Diaz-Dubé. The avoidance swing, and he missed the antenna wide. And so 12 serving 5 here, and you see Eichenberger, one of the team captains, kind of bringing the crew together, saying, hey, look, let's not let this thing get away from us too quickly. James Friddle telling us that his goal in coming into this series, they wanted to be competitive in every set. But Alaka'i Ta deals an ace out of the deck, and the lead is now 8 here for Hawaii after scoring 5 straight. And we're going to get a timeout from the Lions. Hawaii off and running here in the first.
Thursday, the University of Hawaii takes on the UC Irvine Anteaters from the Big West Conference. Rainbow Warrior Basketball, only on Spectrum Sports.
Don't miss a second of the action. Watch Spectrum Sports on the go. The Spectrum News app has the local sports you love and the news and weather that matter most to you. You can download today on the App Store or Google Play. Well, not in enriched history, you could say, between these two programs. Just one previous match. It was won by Hawaii in this building back in 2020. And the Rainbow Warriors winning by way of a sweep. But James Friddle, there you see in the screen, he was saying that there is maybe one player on the roster who was, is veteran enough to have been on that trip. Otherwise, it's pretty much the first ever trip out to the islands for almost this entire team.
And in that match, Charlie Wade played 20 guys. We'll see if he does that tonight.
Hawaii sitting in a good position here in this first set, up 14-5. They have scored 6 straight points. Side set, the block was up, but Diaz-Dubé was able to tool it. 6'5" freshman from Miami, Florida. Actually got his college days started at FIU, Florida International, but just as a student, not a student athlete. And it wasn't until he joined Emmanuel in the fall that he officially became a student athlete volleyball player. Good swing that time by Neusterer, going to be chased down there. Free ball coming over the net. First touch is Hakas. Rosenthal goes back to Neusterer. Dug up over the net. Rosenthal the swing. Well, a lot of tread on that sequence. And Hawaii gets the 15 first. So timeout on the floor. The Rainbow Warriors rolling. And Rosenthal getting in on the kill action. We're looking at the kill percentages to this point, and obviously a fairly wide discrepancy there. Hawaii hitting .429. Emmanuel in the negatives. What are you seeing here so far, C-Mac, in this first frame?
Well, Hawaii's just serving much, much better, forcing Emmanuel to have their setter come off the net to a very predictable set and a very predictable block, making it really tough to have an offense.
have a rotation violation on the Emmanuel side, and that sort of bails Keone Thim out because he had served it into the net. You talk about the serves. That was a bugaboo for Hawaii through that 5-setter on night 2 against Loyola last week. They had only served 5 out of play in the first night, as Keone Thim was locked in on that occasion. That was a bullseye and an ace, and Hawaii already with 3 service aces as a squad. But Hawaii went from 5 service errors on night 1, night 2, they had over 25.
Notice we have no radar gun, but that was about 70 miles an hour right there.
That's probably a good estimate. That was some hard heat as well from Eli Zadanek, the 6-foot senior from Greenville, South Carolina. So not too far away from Franklin Springs, Georgia. He is referred to by James Friedel as a bit of a homegrown talent, at least essentially. And like so many of these Emmanuel players, grew up playing on grass or outdoor volleyball. Not a lot of organized boys volleyball in the areas that some of these players have been recruited from when you're in the southern region of the country. And so they have to really seek out opportunities to just play and learn the game.
The other part of that equation is very few states have high school boys volleyball. They have to rely on clubs or, as you say, the grass, the outdoor, the beach.
Well, that's set off the mark, and it hits the antenna. And so that's going to be a point for Hawaii. Oh, I think they're going to give the point to Emmanuel. Are they going to say that Hakas touched it before it hit the antenna? It looked like it was set into the pin, but I guess the only question would be if Spiros Hakas touched it before it did that. Well, now we're very confused because it seems like James Friedel is issuing the challenge. But what was the official call on the floor?
Maybe Charlie's going to issue the challenge.
I think a lot of people are confused right now.
This is very confusing.
The officiating crew, you have Dixon Chun, the R1, Mark Nakashima, the R2 down on the floor, Ryan Sakagawa and Kevin Chun, the 2 line judges. And so it appeared as though they had called the point in favor of Emmanuel. And then it just sort of, based on some of the gesticulations, looked like maybe there was a challenge issue, but let's see, first off, based on the replay, if the ball hits the pin first. It definitely does. So
Hawaii's challenging attack went off the antenna. First challenge, please over with you.
Okay, so Ben Kiaina, PA announcer, getting everybody on the same page here, including us. We appreciate it, Ben. They have officially determined that the call on the floor was off Hakas into the antenna, which at least by virtue of that first angle would not seem to be the case.
That's
and
wrong.
so they're going to review this. It is officially a Charlie Wade challenge, and Charlie was over there.
Mark, listen, if Mark Nakashima doesn't decide this in the next 10 seconds.
Charlie was, let's just put it this way. Charlie didn't really hold his opinion close to the vest over there on the sideline when he was looking across the way at
Look
Dixon
how
Chun.
obvious this is right here. Let's watch the ball. Ball, antenna, right there. Simple call. Okay, Mark. Headset off. Let's play.
Come on, CMAC has dinner reservations. Come on.
Or as your father used to say, I'm double parked. I got to get out of here. Oh, there's no need to watch it from another angle. Come on.
I like this new edge. I
Oh,
like this
man.
new CMAC style.
Well, have I sat out a week? You know, I'm a little antsy. By the way, I'm looking forward to 3 weeks off after this. I can really let my voice heal.
Yeah. Well,
we're not together until February 2nd after this long.
you were missed last week. It's never quite the same when CMAC isn't in the house. But it was good to see a couple of other McLaughlins that were in the house last week. You had Spencer and Parker, your 2 sons.
Parker's at home now. He said, Dad, if you lose your voice really badly tonight, tell Kanoa I'll come down and sub in for you. And I said, Parker, I think Kanoa can probably go solo.
Okay, so the call is overturned. Again, the Hanaho rematch between these two teams is set for Friday at 6:30 is when our coverage on Spectrum Sports will begin. So 19 serving 7, now the score after that reversal. And it is Kurt Neusterer to serve. Born in Germany, 2021 graduate of Columbus North High School in Indiana, also lettered in soccer and swimming. A good serve, but a good pass as well. Middle set goes to Greg Bodis, and a little wrist away action. The true freshman out of Catholic Memorial High School gets it down.
That was a really good pass from Zdonic, was it? I think, and right on the money. Allowed a good set in the middle there to Bodis.
And so now Arturo Diaz-Dubé will serve. Sliding pass there by Thim. That was nifty. Here comes Todd. And he caught it a little fat. It goes long.
Hasn't quite found the range tonight after being almost flawless on night 2 against Loyola of Chicago. Who, by the way, went on the road and lost twice in a row to Stanford from Hawaii. Will play, I believe, in February 7th and 8th, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that was a heck of a turnaround for Loyola Chicago. They played Hawaii Wednesday and Friday and then played Stanford back-to-back nights Sunday and Monday. And actually pushed Stanford to 5 in that rematch on Monday. As Rosenthal gets in on the ace party.
He's so amazing. 17 years old. He's playing in front of the biggest crowds he's ever played in front of. #1 setter in the junior national team. Still hasn't graduated from high school, literally. Or has graduated, but it's like he is so mature, every part of his game.
Big West Conference Freshman of the Week. Yeah, actually was able to reclassify and graduate a year early, hence the reason why he's here at the age of 17, won't turn 18 until this summer. And looking every bit the part of a seasoned college setter. Hawaii up 13 in the first. Welcome back. We got hoops in the house. Tomorrow night, Rainbow Warriors host UC Irvine, unbeaten and in first place of the Big West Conference. Hawaii off to a 1-2 start in league. They've lost 3 straight home games, looking to change that, and we'll have that tomorrow starting at 6:30 with our coverage on Spectrum Sports. There's Austin Buchanan, one of the reserve setters. He is not available here this evening. Was exhibiting concussion symptoms after getting hit with a volleyball during service warm-ups prior to the second match against Loyola last week. And so that made it a little bit difficult here in the practice gym gearing up for this series for Hawaii, because Tread Rosenthal, really the only now setter who is active on the roster. Back row set Thim. What a dig again by Eichenberger. And then the solo stuff. Alakai says, ole.
Wow, that was one nice move by Alakai, dropping his hands into the angle and just putting it back faster than it came over.
So you combine the Austin Buchanan situation with Kevin Calling, who is out with an ankle injury after there was an incident during service warm-ups the first night. Those pre-game warm-ups getting a little hazardous there on the Hawaii side, as that swing misses by Aiden Feeney, and Hawaii has aloha ball. And so, of course, the joke tonight, there's a look at Kevin Calling, but the joke tonight, Austin Buchanan wearing the sunglasses because of those concussion-like symptoms. Either that or he's wearing sunglasses because of the pants that James Friddle's wearing.
Oh, poor Coach Friddle.
Serve into the net there by Rosenthal. No, we kid, but we love it, and James Friddle has just been such a joy to talk to.
Yeah.
Both instances when Emmanuel has come down. But yeah, I think getting back to the Hawaii setter situation, the challenge remains. A little bit more pressure now on Tread Rosenthal. There's no relief pitcher to turn to, so to speak. As G. Voss gets it home, and Hawaii brings set 1 home. 25-10. Rainbow Warriors hit 263 in set 1. Emmanuel in the negatives. Set 2 when we return. Welcome back. Time now for the Hawaii Honda Dealers highlight reel. And you talked about the serving in that first set, C-Mac. And Hawaii, they were dealing out of the deck. 4 service aces in set 1.
2 of them by Keely Finn, 1 by Rosenthal, and 1 by Alakai Todd right there. That was Rosenthal, sorry. Anyway, their serving is much improved. They're serving in at a clip of 92%. Remember Charlie wants, he'd like to have 90. He says if we serve at 90, we're going to win 100% of the time. That's his mantra.
And I think it should be stated, and you can speak further to this as well, C-Mac, the idea of serving 90% in men's volleyball, collegiately, internationally, at almost any level, is like an absurd expectation. And yet his team has been able to accomplish it a multitude of times over the last few years.
And he claims that's one of the reasons why they won back-to-back national championships. You asked me earlier about Trent Rosenthal. And one of the things I thought that he could get better at is setting the middle more often. He did like 7 sets the first night to Voss, and then the next night he got 13 sets. Tonight already, the middles have been set 33% of the time. You want to look at the 25% number as a good number to have. So he is approaching that stat.
Well, he made his college debut last week, did Rosenthal. Louis Sakanoko, 6'5" freshman from Paris, France, who joined the team at the end of semester. He has only been with this squad for a matter of weeks. He is making his debut, did not play in that series against Loyola last week. But this guy, if you have been able to get any kind of glimpses of him in the practice gym or otherwise, he can bring it.
Wasn't he recommended by Colton Cowell?
Yeah, they played together, actually, on the same team over there in France. And so, yeah, Colton actually helped to facilitate some of the discourse that would eventually lead to Louis Sakanoko coming to Hawaii.
Pretty nice recruiting job by Colton Cowell. I'll tell you, he gets up, he flies, and warm up, he just skies. Silly passes here.
One off the mark, and it's an ace. So, give credit to Andrew Michael, the 6'5" frosh from Melbourne, Australia, who just did a double python flex there, Hulk Hogan-like style to the crowd after that ace. For identifying the new guy in the rotation, and he serves right at him. Next serve, though, goes wide, and Hawaii gets the point.
Andrew Michael from Australia, Coach Friddle said that he does have one of their best serves, and he has the ignominious reputation that it's always winter for him.
That's right. As Hoppus climbs the ladder and hammers one down, Hawaii jumps in front. Yeah, Andrew Michael is from Australia. Because down there in Australia during the off season, it is winter time, right? When it's our summertime, it's winter down there, and so that's when he goes home. It's winter, and then when he's over there in Georgia, I don't think in that area of the country in Franklin Springs, the winters are too harsh, but still, it's winter for him pretty much wherever he goes.
Pretty funny, huh?
Was recruited via Zoom and WhatsApp, according to head coach James Friddle. And it just kind of looked like he's having a good time.
We know one person that will not be subbed out tonight. Trent Rosenthal.
Yeah, that's unlikely. Here's Lucas Nieves, 6'1" freshman from Kissimmee, Florida. Southpaw serves it into the twine. So 5 service errors now for Emmanuel compared to 3 for Hawaii. Spiros Hakas, who continues to climb the all-time aces list at Hawaii. Entered the match 6 aces from the top 10. Back row set. That's Zadanek. It'll be returned. Hakas with the set. Here's Sakanoko. 2-hand punch save, Eichenberger. And the standing jump there by Feeney is blocked back. Hakas again having to take on the setting role. Sakanoko is denied access. Greg Bodis in the middle of it all.
Well, I'll tell you, Sakanoka took a rip at this. 3 blockers up. Not many places to go. He tried to go to high hands, but the hands got up there pretty good.
Sakanoko described as a competitor in the gym. We'll see if he gets another one here. No, they go backside. This is Alakati Todd, dug up by Feeney. Outside Zadanek. Sakanoko with the first touch. Hakas has to chase it down, and then two-handed over. Outside, Zadanek again. Are we going to have a net violation? Or center line violation will be the call against Noah Langelier.
Let's see if we can see this here. He lands, watch his right foot, He lands near Voss. When you get it, if he wasn't near Voss, they wouldn't call it. If there's another player there and there's endangerment of an injury, then they'll call that.
Served by Voss into the twine. So we're tied at 4 here in the second.
Line server, Greg Bodis.
And here is Bodis. Little set, that one destroyed by Kurt Neuster.
Nice set from Tread Rosenthal again. He holds his hands high. Remember, he's 6'8", 6'9". He's holding his hands high. He's setting the guy that's 6'8", so the ball is being contacted at a very high point.
D-set as Nieves off the block, punched in the air by Hakas. That quick middle to Neuster that time was a little bit low.
I just got through bragging that he set the ball nice and high, and then he sets its own. Neuster's only shot is to short arm it. Oh well, the broadcaster's jinx.
Two-hand pass there, Sakanoko. D-set goes to Todd, and he's roofed. And that time it was Eli Zadanek getting most of that one, and all of a sudden the Emmanuel block has come alive here in the second set.
The Lions starting to roar. Their bench erupted after this as well. What a nice little hand move there by Zadanek.
That serve goes out of bounds. And so trading blows here in this second frame. We're tied for the 6th time. And Louis Sakanoko will serve, member of France's U22 national team, which qualified for the European Championship and has been in the national program in France for several years. And that was some thunder. Bumped over the net, and Rosenthal finishes the deal.
How about that serve, Kadol? Oh my goodness, we have another Keone Thim on the team.
Again, Chaz Galloway likely not playing tonight. And so Sakanoko and Thim, they're going to be the 2 top candidates to fill the role of that second outside hitter position. My goodness. I mean, get your helmet on when he's behind the service line.
He just brings it, doesn't he?
I mean, how much was he waiting to unleash in his debut? Didn't play last week. Hasn't been on campus that long, but you know he's in front of this crowd and this environment. You know he was just raring to go.
I think Colton Cowell had a lot to do with him being here. I told him what a great environment is here.
Neuster, that one floated, but he hit it wide, and he quickly taps his own chest, say, hey, that was on me. He hovered above the tape for a hot second there.
You know, it's nice to have a depth in the outside hitting position because those guys hit more balls than anybody on the team. So to have some subs that can go in and give guys a break once in a while makes a big difference. Even give a guy a weekend off.
This guy doesn't ever appear to take any time off. Spiros Hakas. And it just seems like he's even more explosive here to start this season than in previous years.
He does. He really seems fired up. His final year, he wants to make the most of it. He'd like to win a national championship, I heard.
6'4" senior from Smyrna, Greece, Spiros Hakas. High ball bump set. And Feeney went wide of the antenna. And so Hawaii gets the point.
From here, it looked like a really good shot, didn't it? Nice little line shot.
Seemed to catch Todd off guard, but there was a reason for that, apparently.
Saw his volleyball tattoo on his arm. I wonder if he got that today. Celebrating being in Hawaii.
So inching along here in this second frame. Pass by Eichenberger. Here's Feeney. And that one is in. And some of these Emmanuel celebrations, you gotta love them. I mean, like, it is just the height of elan and enthusiasm right now on the Lions side.
Now, Eichenberger, he's put up some good passes, and he leaves everybody on the floor in digging. I think he's got 4. Like twice as many as the next player. He's really playing well.
Well, that one a little tight to the net. Hakas a second crack at it, and he kind of paintbrushed it, and then comes down into the Terraflex somewhat awkwardly. There may have been a wet spot there that he slipped on. He appears to be okay. But it is Emmanuel jumping back in front. Two-hand pass there. Choy behind the head, circles to Voss, and then it pinballs off of his dome and over and down.
What are we going to call that, Canoa? We're going to call it the dome ace? There's got to be a name for it. Big kill? Cover kill? There's a lot of things you could call that shot right there.
Well, you see him pregame oftentimes with a collection of some of his teammates, and they'll kick and head the ball around, almost like hacky sack style.
Yes.
And I wonder if there's just something that plays into that.
Yes, exactly.
Meanwhile, the serve, just like you drew it up, right, Tread? Hits the tape and then curls over for an ace. The team leader in aces coming into the match. Rosenthal now has 2, and Hawaii leapfrogs ahead. Had 6 coming into tonight. Davis times it off the block, saved by Choy. Outside, Hakas up the ladder, and down the chute it goes. 3 straight points for the Bows.
I'm not sure I've ever seen Hawks play with this much energy, determination, and physically he looks really fit. Oh, nice set.
That's Feeney going off the block and down. And so, Nicholas Eichenberger, the 5'11" senior from Lee's Summit, Missouri. We mentioned his all-around talent, and you could see it. He was a part-time starter at least last year at the setter position. He put that thing on a line.
He did. That was a tough set. How about that for a celebration? It was a new celebration we haven't seen yet. It's the thigh slap.
Hey, they've been working on it in the offseason. This is their season opener. They're revealing all of these moves here to the world as Hakas got blocked. And so Emmanuel gets the point. And we are tied again here at 12. What do you make of what we're seeing here in set 2, C-Mac?
Well, it's exactly, I'll tell you, how Riddle would like it to be. He said, we want to be at least competitive and feel like we have a chance to win a game or 2. He says, it's pretty clear it's going to be tough to beat the number 4 team in the country, and they're much bigger than we are and more seasoned, but we just want to compete. So I'm happy for Riddle that he's happy about that. He's got to be happy with this competition right now.
Yeah, preseason picked to finish 8th in Conference Carolinas, but he was telling us, he goes, I think we're going to surprise some people here this year. We're young. We have a lot of new faces in new places. He says, but I think we're going to be better than what people are giving us credit for, at least in terms of the expectations going in.
I'll tell you, Hawaii is helping Emmanuel's cause by missing a bunch of serves in this particular set. Hawaii with 6 service errors so far. Probably 5 of them in this set.
6 errors to 5 aces. Roll shot by Sakanoko was bumped up. The swing here by Langelier blocked, but a net violation is going to give the point to the Lions, and they take the lead. The crowd seems to have been silenced a bit here in this second set, and maybe sitting a bit stunned that the score is as it is right now, as Sakamoko powers it off the hands and out, and we're tied, and that raises the volume level just a tad.
He's got a big-time swing, big-time jump. Great volleyball IQ. He's played at the national team level. What an addition for the Rainbow Warriors, I'm telling you.
I know, late in the game, too.
Yeah.
Zadonic. That was a confident effort. And Emmanuel gets to 15 first in the second. And look at the body language. The Lions are indeed roaring, C-Mac.
Well, and smile more with HDS.
Let's go inside the numbers presented by Long's Drugs. And the number 27, that's the total of service errors by Hawaii versus Loyola Chicago in match 2 on Friday. It's the most in the last 283 matches since 27 at Cal Baptist in 2013. And remember, it was just 2 nights earlier, they recorded only 5 service errors to 6 aces. So it was a completely different serving performance by Hawaii to the other extreme. And an overpass on the serve out of the timeout gives Zadonic the tee up. And now Emmanuel leads by 2. This is a second set that has seen 13 ties and 6 lead changes, fresh off of a set 1 where Hawaii won by 15. Oh, and that one hit pure in the sweet spot by Kurt Neuster.
Where is Hawaii's offense gone? Hitting 0-56, making 6 errors, 7 kills. Meantime, Emmanuel going the other direction. 4 kills, hitting 273, siding out at a better percentage than Hawaii. My guess, though, is that Hawaii's offense will wake up.
15 serving 16, got to get the serves in. Back row, it's Feeney, and Feeney gets it past Spiros Hakas. And so Aiden Feeney now with 5 kills. He's hitting triple zeros at the moment.
Like I said earlier, he's the guy I watched in warm-up that really looked sharp. He was really aggressive with his swings. He hit line and cross court. It's a really nice mixture of shots.
D set, it's Todd. Dug up by Feeney, doing a little bit of everything right now. Oh, the readjustment on the approach by Nieves. Leaping save, Choy. Here's Hakas. As if he rappelled down from the rafters.
What springs he's got here. Watch, he ends up. There's Choy with the dig. My ball might have been out. Hakas ending up right there at the center line. Barely keeps from going under.
So Sakamoko now back to serve. See if he tries to ramp up the velo here. High toss. Beautiful serve. Zadonic trying to time it. He's smothered, blanketed by a triple block. Kurt Neuster was in the thick of things. And we're tied.
Watch for Emmanuel to call a quick timeout. They don't get a side out here pretty soon.
Look at the height on this toss by Sakamoko.
It's U-ball-like.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
He chose violence on that serve.
He is something.
That gets the crowd going.
Oh man, he is something special.
Timeout Lions. It's the For the Love of the Game celebration to help kick off UH baseball season Tuesday, January 23rd, right here at Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. You can meet the 2024 Hawaii baseball team live and silent auctions. You got food stations featuring popular local restaurants, beer, wine, all the good stuff. For more information, you can find tickets on sale at hawaiiathletics.com. 18 serving 17. Crowd still buzzing from that last heater from Sakamoko from the service line. Here's Neuster. Took a little something off on that swing to put it in the perfect spot, and Hawaii has now assumed control here up 2.
I love the way Tread Rosenthal's really working the middle now as much as he possibly can.
Nooster with 4 kills, hitting 250, but all eyes on Louis Sakanoko. Oh my goodness! That's unfair!
That was got to be 75 miles an hour at least.
You could barely see that one. 2 aces.
Wow. He's worth the price of admission right there just to watch him serve.
Does it again. Great pass, though. Emmanuel out of system, and Hawaii will have an opportunity. Outside, Hakas bounces it off of the hands. Played on the Emmanuel side. Angelier bumps it back row. It's Feeney. Sakanoko! The layout save! Off the scoreboard, the bump set. Hakas! Louis Sakanoko, it is nice to meet you.
Of all the rallies we've seen this year, that may have been the best. That was unbelievable. Starting with Sakamoko's one-handed dig. Oh my goodness.
Well, timeout taken by Emmanuel, but how about this introduction for the latest member of this roster to join the crew? Louis Sakanoko, the thunderous serve from the service line, and then that incredible leaping punch save. This crowd is loving it, C-Mac.
He's worth, I tell you, he's worth the price of admission. He's so spectacular. Pretty much everything he does, whether it's digging, blocking, serving, attacking.
Well, Ryan Kalei-Suji has more. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, thanks, Kono. Well, the Hawaii bench very encouraged and, of course, very excited to see Louis out there participating in the bench, celebrating each and every time he goes up to serve, noting that this is what he does every day in practice. He was greeted, of course, by his teammates. But during the last time out, head coach Charlie Wade spending a lot of time talking to his freshman setter, Trent Rosenthal, about his setting selections, trying to get him to settle down and get more consistent in his sets, but noting that he's doing a great job of trying to bring this team back together and ask him to be a leader and help lead this offense. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. It's a lot of the timeout. Louis still continuing this service run here for the moment. Hawaii on a 6-0 scoring run. And it has completely changed the vibe here in set 2. Decide to take something off that time. Hawaii on the attack. It's Nooster. The kick save by Sakanoko. But they're going to call it a 4th contact, saying that Nooster's hit did not get over the tape. But even in a play that didn't go Hawaii's way, he still finds a way to excite the crowd, Louis Sakanoko. Oh, Choy, the overpass put down by Feeney. And gives Zadanek credit for the serve, and Emmanuel not ready to pack it in here in the second.
That was a really good serve by Eli Zadanek. Just ripping it right down the middle at Choy. It was a tough serve to pass.
And he pumps it long. Zadanek, one of the guys that James Friddle says can serve with some extra pepper, some extra pace. Tried to do it a little bit there, but didn't quite have the spin on it. So now we're going to have a service sub here for Hawaii as Kai Taylor comes in. And he will serve in place of Nooster. Hawaii up 3, 22 serving 19.
I wonder if Kai Taylor, how does he serve with all those bandages on his serving arm?
And the block is up there on the swing by Feeney, played over the net. D set. Alakai Todd explodes on it. That was a kaboom.
Todd was a little inconsistent that first set. He's started taking smarter shots right now, and aiming for the back 1/3 of the court. Always a good place to aim if you're a D-ball hitter.
That's his first kill of the match. And the block is up. G. Voss returning it to sender there as Adonik tried to lay into it from behind the line, and it is aloha ball for Hawaii in set 2. A very competitive second set. But it turned when Louis Sakanoko started to throw laser beams from the service line. And the push there by Nieves does not get past the net. And that's how set 2 comes to a close. So the Hawaii volleyball fan base was able to meet Louis Sakanoko for the first time in this second set. He did not disappoint, and Hawaii will have a chance to crack open the broom closet.
University of Hawaii Sports on Spectrum Sports. Sponsored by...
Welcome back here to the Pizza Hut match statistics. Not the cleanest match that has been played in the history of volleyball CMAC, but at times we've seen some spectacular play and really some nifty plays on both sides of the net.
Yeah, you see the 11 hitting errors on both teams, and you see the 14 service errors by both teams, as you say. Not the cleanest of all. Spiros Hakas looking good, though. 7 kills, hitting .417.
Obviously, in that second set, the biggest excitement was perhaps prompted by the play of Louis Sakanoko in his debut, his introduction to the Hawaii volleyball world. Do you expect to see more off the bench here from Charlie Wade, more subs in this third frame? What do you think?
I would hope so, because I think this is a great opportunity for other players to make a mark, to feel what it's like to play in the Stan Sheriff Center. There's just a lot of value, I think, in getting as many players in as possible. Maybe not 20 players like he did in 2020, the year that COVID started, but I'd like to see him get in a few more. Looks like he's going to get Fim. I guess Spiros Hakas, it looks like, is going to get a rest here.
We're also going to see Ozan Oz, 6'8" sophomore from Bursa, Turkey. It's a transfer from University of Jamestown in North Dakota. It's an NAIA program. And so he'll be making his debut here as a Rainbow Warrior. The other thing that Charlie Wade has to balance and also figure out, right, is I think there are a lot of freshmen on this roster that he is giving strong consideration to possibly redshirting. And so that's going to limit just how many available bodies he's going to deem himself to have here going forward.
Exactly. This will make it 10 players he's gotten in so far through 3 sets. And he may get another player in to maybe to be a serving sub or something, but I think that Fim and Sakanoko are going to be the ones that are going to finish the match. Spiros, good for Spiros just to take the third set off at least, and no reason for him to beat up his legs now and his arm now. He needs to be sharp in March and April,
so
not January.
We'll likely see Ols hitting from that opposite position. Louis Sakanoko, also a guy who is considered a candidate at that opposite spot. Obviously, Alaka Itad last week played really well, and so there was not necessarily any need to consider any kind of change there. But going forward, obviously, with Sakanoko and some of what he brings to the table, that's another option for Charlie if he wants to try to find a way to get him out on the floor.
I say Louis plays wherever he wants to play.
Yeah. That's probably a fair assessment as well.
Oh my gosh, he is something else.
Meanwhile, it is freshman Tread Rosenthal who will get the festivities started. And yeah, it looks like Spiros is settling in comfortably here to maybe ride the rest of the evening out.
Clearly, Hawaii has four really strong pin hitters, to be sure.
So set 3 underway. Hawaii up 2-0. The block is up on Feeney. Does not go down, though. Feeney a second time. Gets it by the double block. And a fairly formidable block at that. You have Voss at 6'7", and Ozan Oz at 6'8". And Feeney was able to avoid both of them.
Oh, good. Goes for the big hole in the block. And he's got the great celebration as well.
He does the Aiden. We'll just call it the Aiden. I don't know.
The Aiden, yeah.
There's Voss doing G Voss things. Been a minute since he committed an error. That 11 kills error-free, hit 846 on night 2, despite the loss against Loyola Chicago. And so far in this one, 5 kills, 6 attempts, no errors. He's hitting 833.
You know what else I admire about G Voss?
Oh boy, that toss way off the mark for Sakonoko.
Nice adjustment.
Still got it over, and then the tip shot dug up by Voss. Backside, here's Oles' first swing, pops it out of bounds. Well, that was calamitous from the beginning.
I was going to say, another thing I like about G Voss, civil engineering major. Really a tough one. And he has just studied his way through his UH career and been good on and off the court.
Diving pass there by Sakonoko was a good one. Here's Finn ripping into that set.
When you look at him and how tall he is, what is he? 5'11", maybe?
Listed at 6 feet, could be a tad bit charitable.
I think it's charitable because, but you know what? He plays like he's 6'5" or 6'6". He's worked so hard to get his body in great shape and to become a good leaper.
That one punched in the air by Sakonoko. May have been an out ball. Rosenthal ran out of room.
Sakonoko actually asked the administrator, "Did you touch it?" That's why I made a play on it.
So 3 serving 2, and Noah Langelier will serve. That's by Sakonoko. It's an overpass. Two-hand save there by Thim on the Zdanic swing, and then Sakonoko, look out. I mean, if you're a fan and you paid top dollar for the courtside seats, you best be paying attention when Mr. Sakonoko is about to approach.
Hackenberger did a nice job of getting out of the way of that one.
Thim goes off the high hands. Southpaw swing there by Nieves. The up by Sakonoko. High and away. Set goes to Thim. A little joust up there. Covered by Choy. Here's Noosterer. Blocked. And it is called out. So a point for Hawaii, but the Lions team as a whole went running over to their head coach, James Friddle, to beg for him to challenge that one. From this perspective, in real time, even from where we're sitting across the court, it did look like it went off the block and in.
Ooh.
You don't think that caught the line there?
I think it did.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Now, if they just freeze that frame, show it to Mark Nakashima.
Now remember, things a little bit different here this season in this building with regard to the replay challenges. In the past, when the R2 was on the same side as us, we would sort of work in unison, where the official would be able to talk with our producer in the production truck, and they could request certain angles, and they could kind of talk it through it, just as far as what angles were available. Now there is no longer that communication. They also have the DV Sport replay system that can be utilized by Mark Nakashima here, as well as some of the angles that are provided by Spectrum Sports. But again, that dialogue, that communication is no longer there. So it is basically all on Mark Nakashima to scroll through all of these shots. This seems to be the shot that probably best explains or shows what could have happened. Is it enough evidence to overturn the call is the question, but it looks like it's touching the line.
It sure does. Easy call. Okay, Mark. Headset off. Let's play. Come on.
Oh, well.
All right, Mark. Way to listen. He's very coachable, isn't he? He's a good referee.
After review, calls overtime.
So a good challenge there by James Friddle.
Yeah, he had like 3 players were going to come over and tackle Friddle to get his challenge card. If he didn't take it out, he was going to get laid out.
This seems like a program that just really enjoys one another, doesn't it?
Yeah. You know what else, Mike? You got to love the way that they come from such diverse backgrounds. Guys who have never played volleyball, never played high school volleyball, learned how to play on the grass. It's very amazing kind of program that he's built.
Yeah, he says a pretty disproportionate amount of the roster are guys who have never played organized indoor volleyball before.
Yeah.
Punch save there by Choy. So free chance here for the Lions. It's Eichenberger taking on the set. And it goes out off the palm of Nieves.
Nieves looks much more comfortable on the right side as a lefty than he does on the left side, which is normal.
So here is Ozan Oz. What a serve that was. Nieves through the block. And again, some instances here in this third frame where that Hawaii block has not fully formed.
You can almost call it porous.
So 6 serving 4 here. Pass there by Thim. He gets the set on the outside and lays the smackdown.
Now this is the guy who plays like he's 6'6", not 6 feet. Look how he's got his own celebrations, doesn't he? He could be in one of the Marvel comics, don't you think?
Yeah, that's a good, like one of the X-Men.
Yeah, exactly.
Nieves, that hit the pin, it appeared. And so that's going to be a point for Hawaii, and we're tied at 6. Yeah, the thing about Keone Thim, you get the impression that he's just always running at like level 9 on the dial, right?
Yeah. I got the feeling too that Keone and Louis have serving contests like that.
Well, Keone may have won that round. That's an ace. And that was some pop, some extra chili pepper water on that serve.
I think he watched what Louis did in the second set. He says, okay, watch me. I'm coming back for the third set, and I'm going to rip it.
Well, competition is good, right?
3 aces tonight. I wish the radar was out tonight, but I'm telling you, all of those swings were at least 75. 70.
And hit into the net by Michael. And so Hawaii now on a 6-1 run. Yeah, I do like the idea of Thim and Sakonoko just seeing who can outdo the other from the service line.
Once again, people in the front row. That was a touch 'em all, yes.
That was,
touch 'em all.
I was waiting for the catchphrase, the CMAC catchphrase, touch 'em all.
Well, your dad taught me that. But the people in those real fancy VIP seats, they're in danger with this UH team.
Oh, and losing the joust that time was Rosenthal, and Aiden Feeney did the too small gesture and then stomped it out. That was quite the elaborate and choreographed celebration. Check it out. So there's the too small there, and then watch him sort of stomp on it. I mean, okay. Thim swooping in, didn't get all of it, but got enough of it, and Hawaii back in front.
Now, this is one exciting team to watch. If you don't have season tickets, go out and get them.
Yeah.
If you're not going to get them, at least come out to watch this team play, because they are really, really fun to watch. Exciting. Physical.
Back row, this is Zadanek. And he hits it out, no touch. So Hawaii up 2. Yeah, and you get the impression this is a team that is still figuring certain things out. You have a 17-year-old freshman setter. You have some moving parts at the pin hitting positions. And so what this team will look like a month, 2 months, 3 months from now could be completely different.
Yep.
Here's Feeney through the block. Outside, Sakanoko. That was just sheer power.
You know, if I was a blocker, I had to walk away from that. If I had touched this, he's got to walk away feeling, oh, God, my hand's got to be hurt. He just unloads. Man, what a powerful swing.
I mean, when you first walked into the practice gym prior to the Loyola matches, you had Sakanoko, whose hair was grown out. You can kind of see it in some of our graphics of his headshot. As Nooster is able to dot it in that corner for an ace. And Emmanuel's going to signal for a timeout. But we'll get back to the hair story of Louis Sakanoko when we come back. The reason he gave us as to why he cut the dew. You'll want to hear it. Always want to see that from Kurt Nooster. Well, he was a bit late to the party as far as joining the program. Didn't get on campus till the turn of the semester, but what an addition he is proving to be, and the future is bright for this true freshman, Louis Sakanoko from Paris, France. He has riled up the crowd several times. And there you see the longer hair, and in the practice gym was interesting. I mean, you know, being a pin hitter and sort of having a similar hairstyle, like you could say he was kind of similar in stature even with Chaz Galloway, but he cut the hair, and that wasn't the reason. I asked him, why'd you cut it? It looked great. He said, well, back home, I could afford to do it because it takes a lot of work, and you got to hire somebody to do the braids and do all that stuff. As Nooster goes back to back on the service aces, he said, but over here it's a little too expensive, so I had to out of financial requirement, I had to cut it down.
Maybe he's an econ major. Who knows? Smart move.
You can just see in some of his serves and even that last swing he got out on the pin, just the power with which he displays. 13, serving 8. Backside. This is Nieves. And again, able to drive it through that Hawaii block.
Picks up his second kill, a late closing block there, and he took advantage of it.
Emmanuel actually out-blocking Hawaii here in this match, 6-5. Boss in the middle. Good read that time by Bodis. Now Sakanoko off the block. The cover there by Feeney. And then from behind the line, Nieves is dug up. Here's Thim flying in. Keone Thim grooving right now. He's got 6 kills, no errors. He's hitting up around 600.
You know, he's got all the shots now. He's taking smart shots. He's not just hitting hard every time. He's hitting them in the right places.
He was able to cut that one to that deep corner. 14 serving 9. Here's Rosenthal. It's another ace. 11 service aces for the Rainbow Warriors, and they get to 15 first here in the third. Busy week here in Mānoa again. We got volleyball tonight, hoops tomorrow, volleyball Friday, and then Rainbow Warriors on the floor against UC Riverside on Saturday. Spectrum Sports coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. Substitution here for the Lions, Harrison Coelho, 6'1" senior from Coconut Creek, Florida, out there on the floor here as James Friddle trying to find a spark for his team. Hawaii with 11 service aces. And the overpass is forced. Backside, Bulls dug up over the net. And Voss says mahalo nui loa.
And one thing about Kiernan Voss, he just does not make many mistakes. Here's an overpass that he could have followed through into the cable, but oh no, he pulls his arm back and make sure that he does not make a net violation. Just such a smart player.
16 serving 9. And Rosenthal sends it out. So most aces in a match for Hawaii since, well, their last match. The 5-setter against Loyola Chicago, they had 11 aces, but that was over 5 sets. And they also had the 27 service errors. Different story tonight, 11 aces to 8 errors. And that one is served long by Coelho. And here is now Louis Sakanoko to serve.
Okay, put your seatbelt on here.
Maybe get a helmet. Just
get the helmets for the entire Emmanuel passing team right now. And the first row of the VIP section.
Just grazed the netting. And then the block is up. And the roof is down for Eli Zadanik's swing.
How about Zadanik passing that? He took it perfectly.
And that is the second block assist for Guilherme Voss, which puts him in 10th place all time at UH. Welcome back. The Mānoa Roofing Company hasn't necessarily dominated here tonight, but they've had their hard hats on several occasions. 6 total team blocks and the 2 block assists, C-Mac, for Guilherme Voss puts him in rare air. He passes Savan Leone for 10th place on the career block assist list at UH. And Louis Sakanoko obliges out of the timeout with another lightning bolt.
And back to that blocking package. I think if Charlie Wade goes back and looks at the film from tonight, I don't think he'll be very happy with the block. There have been too many split blocks, too many late forming blocks, and I think he'll make it a point of emphasis for next week's practices.
That one goes long. A couple of the people down on the floor, seeing their lives pass before them.
And the drummer and the tuba as well.
Yeah, the band's got to be a little bit weary as well.
There you go. They're liking that.
11 serving 19. Here's Thim. Oh, he went up the elevator shaft a couple extra floors. It'll be played back, though, but the back bump set goes over the net. Oles couldn't get it down, and then it's punched over. Free chance here for Hawaii. Backside, Oles. Another dig there. That time it was Coelho from off the net. Zadanik dug up. Backside, Oles again. Can't get it to the floor. Zadanik blocked and moved. Finally, Hawaii does. And it's Oles on the defensive side, jumping up next to G. Voss.
That was a well-formed block. Oles yet to get his first kill, but certainly Rosenthal's giving him plenty of chances. He's taking some good swings, but there's been some pretty good defense played by Emmanuel.
Besides Zadanik off the block and out. So Hawaii with 12 service aces in this match to 9 service errors. They're only hitting 197 overall for the match. Emmanuel continues to toil in negative numbers at the moment. How would you evaluate this Hawaii performance to this point here?
Yeah, the offense.
Oh, they're going to call that in cross court. The thin slice of bread there by Thim.
Might be a challenge here. The offense, as you're asking, Kanoa, has not been sharp. And generally, the offense takes longer to form and get more efficient as the season goes on. The defense is usually play better early on. But I'm surprised that they're as inefficient as they are. Hitting around 200 is not a good number against the team that's picked for last in the Carolinas League. I'm telling you, it's got to be a disappointment, I think, for Charlie Wade that his team is not playing as well as they should be offensively.
Well, you're right. They did decide to challenge that last call, so it was ruled in on the floor. Let's see if there's an angle that's going to allow Mark Nagashima to make a conclusive judgment here, but James Friddle still smiling.
And I'll help Mark, too, right now. If it comes up, I'll help him.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we got to patch you in to his headset. James Friddle, his pops, John, his assistant on the staff. That's a really cool story. And James, who is also the Emmanuel women's head coach, and the Lady Lions have won 3 of the last 6 Conference Carolinas titles.
Pops there was actually very involved in warm-ups. She was hitting balls and serving balls and everything. It was family affair.
And on any given day, you would come across someone wearing an Aloha shirt of that variety, like John Friddle on the right is wearing, and you think like, wow, that's a pretty loud Aloha shirt, but, good on you. And then you look at what his son's wearing, it's like, whoa, that's low volume compared to what John Friddle's rocking.
Oh, man. Here's one look. Looks out to me. We need a better look than that, though. Looks out.
So Mark Nakashima taking some looks here at this. Have you seen anything? We have the ISO monitor in front of us as well, so we were able to see some replay shots even while we were showing father and son Friddle there on the sideline. Anything that strikes you as being conclusive enough to overturn the call?
Well, it also landed about 15 feet from where we're sitting right now. And I thought it was out originally. And the one good replay we saw, I thought it was out as well. I think it'll be overruled.
It's funny how Coach Friddle just always seems to be smiling, though. I mean, like the energy within this team. I mean, we felt it talking to him. He was in the team van talking to us yesterday, or earlier today, I should say.
Was that legal, by the way? Could he have been stopped by the cops for that?
I don't think he was driving, thank goodness.
Oh, he wasn't? Oh, okay.
I think he was in the passenger seat.
Okay.
If he was driving, then wow, he is quite the multitasker.
Yeah.
But no, he was in the passenger seat. But even then, like, you could just kind of get the sense, the vibe in the van. It was a good one, real positive.
Absolutely. Overruled. I think I'm 3 for 3, I'm not sure, but I'm...
Yeah, the call stood there.
No.
Yeah, so they said there wasn't conclusive evidence to overturn
now I'm 2 for 3. Oh, no. I won't be able to sleep tonight.
Counting the chickens before they hatched a little bit there, see,
man.
Nieves blocked and roofed. Neusterer jumping up next to Rosenthal. And that is a big block right there for Hawaii.
6'9", 6'8"? Yeah, it is.
And maybe that 6'8" closer to 6'9".
Yeah. And the 6'9" closer to 6'10".
22 serving 12. And that one goes long.
Talk about Neusterer. We haven't seen him break out his chessboard yet. Remember last year? That was so much fun to watch he and Jakob Tella. As part of their warm-up, they'd break out the chessboard right here in the arena in front of us.
Yeah, that was pretty great. Here's Thim. Big wind-up there. Sakanoko back set to Thim. Off one leg, dumps it down.
I think Thim having quite the offensive night. How about this? 8 kills, no errors, hit no, 571 with 3 service aces.
And now serving. That was a wicked serve. What a pass, though. Nieves dug up by Thim. Rosenthal high and away. Sakanoko laying the lumber. We're seeing flashes of the future here, C-Mac. Aloha ball for Hawaii. They rise here in the arena, but things will be paused for a moment because we're going to have a challenge from James Friddle. So the announced attendance, 3,498 through the turnstiles. Some of them still standing, but many of them decided, oh, well, we're going to be here for a few more minutes. We'll go ahead and sit back down.
I'm still wondering how. Let's see if we'll watch this replay here. Oh dear, it's out.
Yeah, call on the floor in. That does seem to call that into question. You see green between the ball and the line. A little tougher to tell there from that angle.
The other angle, it's definitely out. You know, some people have been asking me, Kanoa, maybe you know the answer to this. Why did Hawaii men's volleyball get Wednesday, Fridays, and the other Thursday, Saturdays
for basketball?
The more lucrative nights. I'm going to tell the people.
All right, so it is an overturn call that time, and a fast review there by Mark Nagashima.
Yeah, he must be double parked.
As far as the schedule is concerned, that's probably something you'd need to take up with the Big West Conference.
Yeah.
You know, basketball being one of the driving sports in the Big West.
I guess later on, Hawaii will get more favorable nights once the basketball's over.
That one put over by Rosenthal. And so now it will once again be Aloha ball. Of course, here in the islands, there's no denying the power and the popularity of men's volleyball. And we just hope to see that continue to catch on, not only elsewhere in the conference, but elsewhere in the country as well. They're on their feet. Neusterer for the match. Nieves loops it over, the pass by Thim. Back row, Thim! Crushes it long. And it remains Aloha ball after the point goes to the Lions. And that looked way in. That looked well in from that angle. And the crowd reacting now to the replay overhead. And Charlie Wade may be waiting too long to challenge, and so we play on. Thim! That one goes long. Oh, you knew he was looking to just blow that ball up.
Let's see who's going to get the set this time. I think the set's going to go to G. Voss on a good pass. And we'll go to Louis Sakanoko on maybe a bad pass.
Those were the first two hitting errors for Keone Thim, and the irony, that first one shouldn't have been an anticlimactic close to set three. But Hawaii takes it 25-16, and they win it Ekahi Elua. Aloha here in the third match of the year to improve to 2-1. 25-10, 19, and 16. As Keone Thim goes for a career-high 8 kills. And again, you feel for him because that first one, based on the replay, was clearly in. He should have gone error-free tonight with a career-high 9 kills. Instead, he gets tagged with the 2 errors. But hey, look, he hit 375, had 3 service aces, 6 digs, 2 blocks. I think he'll take it.
Yeah, pretty good night for Keone.
We kind of gave the numbers here and maybe gave away the lead here, but the Bank of Hawaii players of the match, you guessed it, Keone Thim. So officially in the book, 8 kills career high, the 375, 2 blocks, 6 digs, 3 aces. And on the other side, that should be Aiden Freeney, who has 7 kills, 4 blocks, and 3 digs. Carlos Guerrero, actually from Eva Beach out of Moanalua High School, not playing this week. He is a Hawaii guy on the Emmanuel roster, coming back from injury though, and not yet available. So the wrong headshot and name there. We wanted to give props to Aiden Feeney.
Nice to see him get some props. So he's their tour guide this week.
Yeah,
he's taking care of them.
He is. He's sort of tour guiding. He's their Hawaii connection. He'll tell them about all the hot spots to hit up. But yeah, definitely didn't want to forget about the performance by Aiden Feeney with those 7 kills. All right, let's send it over to Scott Robbs.
Thanks a lot, Kanoa. Coach, congratulations. Did you see what you wanted to see tonight?
I saw something I really liked, and that was a crowd on a Wednesday night like this. I hope it was entertaining. We got a lot of guys in for the first time, and at one point I looked out there and we had a 17-year-old leading a bunch of guys who haven't played much college volleyball, and it's kind of what it looked like. Like I've said, I think we got a lot of good pieces and a lot of talent, and guys, it's just going to take a while to put it in get it all going. We're definitely a work in progress at this point.
We did get a chance to see the Frenchman Sakanoko tonight for the first time. That kid's pretty dynamic.
For sure. He's been consistently, mid to high 70s from the service line. And you saw tonight, he can absolutely light it up. He's going to be a really good player. He's a freshman and he's getting out there. And the first time you could tell there's some nerves from all those guys. And like I said, we got some talent. It's just, kind of get him out there and kind of integrate him in. I don't like to unload it like that and leave Tread out there without, the calming influence of Chaz and Spiros, let alone their statistical performance. But, we got through it. We got to give those guys an opportunity to get out there and get them in real game environment and taking some live fires. So, overall it was, good to get out of here and a win and did it 3-0 and we're back at it on Friday.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you, guys. Aloha.
Aloha.
Thanks a lot, Scott. All right, this is called a mulligan. Our graphics department wanted one more crack at it. There you go, Aiden Feeney. The name, the headshot. He is the player of the match. Brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. Keone Tim, of course, getting it on the Hawaii side. The freshman Frenchman, Louis Sakanoko, he had his moments, as Charlie was alluding to, just the tip of the iceberg for some of these young players. And boy, does it fill you with some excitement as to where the trajectory for some of these talents could go.
I'll tell you this, Hawaii could call their 4 outside hitters right now the high flyers because they all really fly. Dynamic, fun to watch. Folks, come down and watch these guys. They're really, really fun to watch. If it was like a basketball team, it would be like, hey, come watch this fast break team. They run every time. Well, these guys fly every time from all over the place and hit with power, with finesse. I'm really optimistic about this team. As you can tell, I'm sort of bubbling a little about it, shamelessly. But this is a fun team. They're going to be fun to watch. And Friday night will be closer, I think, because, night 2 is always closer. So I think both teams will watch some film, and I think that Emmanuel will come out and play a little bit better, and I think Hawaii will too, actually.
All right, enough talking for you. Take care of that voice. Great to have you back, C-Mac. Looking forward to Friday. Don't forget about the post-game show. The guys will break down this victory for the Rainbow Warrior volleyball team. But until next time, for Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy. We bid you aloha from Mānoa.
Choy, Emmanuel, night number 1. We start from behind the service line for the Rainbow Warriors, who racked up a dozen aces on the night to only 10 service errors. 3 players with 3 service aces. Rosenthal, Sakanoko, and Thim all had 3 service aces. How about Spiros Hawkins? Only played the first 2 sets, but he was quite impressive and efficient. 7 kills for the Greek native, who hit a robust 417 on the evening. And we talked about Luis Sakanoko, the freshman out of Peri. Well, he didn't hit the ball all that efficiently. He had only 2 kills, hit -125, but behind the service line, he was nailed. As you mentioned, 3 service aces for the freshman. How about Keone Thim? Got the start here tonight on the left side. Played a couple of sets, led Hawaii in the kills category. Had 8 kills, hit a good 375 to go along with those 3 service aces. Had 7 receptions without an error and even contributed a couple of blocks. But right there, the big put down by Keone, and the Rainbow Warriors win it in 3.
From Spectrum Sports, it's the Hawaii Honda Dealers post-game show.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. Scott, James, Ryan. Hawaii goes to 2-1 here in the early goings of 2024 with a sweep of Emmanuel. And, guys, tonight's match to me kind of felt like a ho-hum match. Like, they just got it done.
It was. I think Hawaii rolled into this game knowing that they were going to win. They were maybe a little bit overconfident, a little too relaxed coming into it. I would have liked to see them have a little bit more of a dominant performance, where if the ball was on their side, it was very clean pass, set, put the ball away. And we didn't see too much of that. And again, with a hitting percentage of 178 as a team against, not to judge Emmanuel, but like against Emmanuel, it should have been a little bit more of a dominating performance, I believe.
And I think we're looking at a couple of things when you have to factor in what we saw. I mean, obviously, there are some injuries and some players that are out that have helped to train this team and get them to this point. And I'm not only talking about those who are in the starting lineup, but also those supporting cast members who also were sidelined, that ultimately impacts the overall flow of the team. When you think about it, this is a team that has had one setter for the past week, even in the practice gym, which affects just the overall readiness. And so I think the injuries played a large part of it, but I also think the mental preparedness coming in and not being maybe as efficient as they probably should have been was a big characterization of tonight.
All right, let's take a look at the final numbers from this victory for the University of Hawaii. You mentioned the hitting percentage, only a $178. Emmanuel hit negative here tonight. In fact, they only had 16 kills on the night. Hawaii outblocks the Lions, outdigs them, and then you look at that service, 12 service aces to only 1 for the Lions.
Yeah, I think the serving was the big component that I enjoyed watching tonight. You know, after last week's performance where they missed 27 serves, I expected them to come in here, maybe take a lot off of their serves, just put it in bounds. But they served at a high percentage and with a lot of efficiency, and they put Emmanuel in a lot of trouble. And that was very exciting to see that they were confident from the service line, didn't really take too much off, and was essentially popping free ball lollipops over the net. I think the serving tonight for the Rainbow Warriors was pretty incredible.
Yeah, I think, but there were times where they could have been a little more careful. They were, you know, obviously, I think some of the things with when you have freshmen that are being inserted into the lineup, they're maybe going to go for every single serve. We saw Louis at times maybe go a little too hard, where he could have just dialed it back a little. As Charlie Wade says, it doesn't always have to be using a driver. He could have pulled a different club out of his toolkit. So I think they'll learn how to manage their serves over time, but definitely more comfortable that they get playing in this arena and in this environment will only help this team, because serving has been such a key part of this team's identity over the years.
Well, let's look on the other side of the net. Emmanuel knew the task at hand, and they played like a team that had nothing to lose. They were loose, they were having fun, and they gave Hawaii trouble, particularly in that second set.
They did, and the exciting thing when they play these teams, like you said, Emmanuel was the team that came in here and had nothing to lose. They'll play with a lot more relaxedness, a lot more freedom, and they're very scrappy. What I enjoyed watching was they got blocked 10 times, but they were really good about covering. Again, they're a lot smaller team than Hawaii is. They know Hawaii has a big block. They did a very good job about covering, and then on defense, they were just chasing every single ball down. And again, it makes for an exciting match and gives Hawaii a little bit more of a push than maybe they expected.
Well, let's look at Aiden Feeney run, 7 kills for Emmanuel.
Yeah, you know, he loved his celebrations. I mean, he celebrated just about every time he got a kill with a unique celebration, as we see there. But one of the things I think as Hawaii, I mean, the celebrations alone are the highlights.
Sure.
Not really the kills. But, you know, I think we can expect to see him being involved a little bit more in the offense if they're going to have success against Hawaii on Friday night.
Well, Hawaii takes care of business. That's what they needed to do. They won in 3. And when we come back, Trent Rosenthal will join us in the corner.
Game show.
Well, you see him getting ready to get the floor for basketball tomorrow night. But tonight, men's volleyball, Hawaii taking care of business against Emmanuel, winning in 3. And joining us in the corner, the first true freshman to start for the Rainbow Warriors since the early 2000s, and the great Brian Beckwith is Trent Rosenthal. And we welcome you to the corner for the first time.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, I mean, you've played high-level volleyball for a long time, but how has the adjustment been to the Division I level for you?
It's definitely more electric. The middles are definitely faster and just more dynamic, but other than that, the U19 level, it's prepared me pretty well. I mean, got here, it was good to have that whole fall season just to get going, get kind of accompanied with my hitters. But yeah, it's been a good transition, not too hard.
What made you decide Hawaii was the place you wanted to be?
It was pretty simple. I've been here for a few games. The fans are electric, the games are electric, and it's really one of the best places to be in the world. Beautiful campus, beautiful everything else. But yeah, great team, electric fans. It's just a pleasure to be here.
So you have had a unique recruiting experience than most people would ever have. Can you kind of talk to us about what it was like skipping your senior year of high school to come and play at the collegiate level a year early?
Yeah, I mean, Charlie got it going pretty fast. He kind of brought it up to me. I had a quick discussion with my family, and then decided to just go after it. I saw Spiros, Chaz, Guillerme, they were all staying. I was like, I want to play with those guys. That'd be really cool. And then it was just getting on top of my academics, getting it going early and fast. and then just taking care of everything I can to get here early and be in front of these electric fans.
So you actually missed your senior prom because you didn't get to go to that.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody will invite you and you can go back for a visit.
Maybe.
Talk about tonight's matchup specifically. A lot of places who coming off the bench, being able to contribute tonight. What was that like? Because at times, I mean, in the third set, you were the starting captain, you were the floor captain in that third set. What was that like overall with just the different pieces in the lineup?
I think it was really good for us. You know, I've been with the starters for a while and kind of gotten used to them. But it's good to have those guys come off the bench, see how they react to a new environment, coming in a little cold, and really just being able to come in and make a difference whenever they need to. So it was a good test.
I want to talk to you about your serving, because I understand that you didn't start jump serving until you got here.
Yeah.
I think you have like 9 service aces through the first 3 matches of the season. I see your right shoulder heavily taped. Has it been an adjustment? Because it doesn't look like it when you're out there.
No, definitely a big adjustment. We hit it pretty hard in the fall season, just getting a ton of reps, getting my hand on ball a lot better. And I'm sure you've heard it way too much, but thumb up.
Thumb up?
Yeah, thumb up. Yeah, definitely just getting it geared in. A little rusty right now, but it's been good. Big transition, but it's not too bad.
Overall, just share with us what that experience was like last week for you, getting named as a starter, coming out here and playing in front of that crowd. What was that experience like for you overall?
It was the best experience of my life. You know, the trust Charlie put in me to take care of this team, run the squad. Just playing in front of these fans for the first time, it was amazing, and just getting the season started, it was a really cool experience.
All right, before we let you go, I know you have family in California. You got family back in Austin, Texas. You want to give them a shout out?
Yeah, Kaysen, Tannen, and Laren, those are all 3 of my sisters, and mom and dad. Thank you for everything. Taking care of Hawaii for you guys.
And by the way, his 3 sisters are all setters. He actually is originally from Austin, Texas.
Yes.
When did you move to California?
Between, I think it was sophomore year.
Okay, so just for a little while then.
Yeah.
This is your new home.
I know. It's a great home.
All right, well, we're going to get a chance to see you for a long time.
Yeah.
Continue success, Tread. I'm sure you'll be with us many more times in the corner.
Thank you.
Tread Rosenthal, freshman setter for the Rainbow Warriors, leads Hawaii to the win over Emmanuel.